very unfortunate in Africa is that we have no shortage of instruments. You remember Africa has the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. We even have a protocol on democratic governance in Africa, both regionally in ECOWAS and in SADC and in East African Community, and we have all these things. But I think that it must be a resolve by African peoples and African leaders that we are moving in a particular direction. And there must be leadership about it. This is why I was very happy, for example, when President Thabo Mbeki of South Africa came up with what was then referred to as African Renaissance. That is why I was very happy in 1984 when Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso started asking very nagging questions about how we govern ourselves. How do we re-engineer our governance? This is why I was very happy when President Yoweri Museveni in 1986-87, in his first 10 years in office, was talking about, let us look at how we govern ourselves. And at that time, President Museveni said, do we need political parties? He posed the question. Is the thing called political party known to African governance system? And he came up with something called the movement system. Of course, Western government then told him that democracy equals to multi-party politics. How do we reintroduce or introduce hygiene in our politics? Is to interrogate governance systems in Africa. That to me is the next debate. The next debate is that African Union must engage in interrogating the so-called governance systems. Are they compatible with our ideals? In a continent where people think that one of their own must be the president, what systems can we have? Is it going to be easy? No, it is not going to be easy. So we must work at the leadership and also work at the electorate. Civic education. Sometimes we don't talk about it as we should, and people think that civic education are these periodic engagements that we have with the electorate and tell them that corruption is bad. They know corruption is bad. They know that electing people on the basis of their ethnicity or religion is a bad thing. What must we do? To engage constructively at every level. We use our institutions of governance, even traditional institutions. Particularly here in West Africa, you have very strong institutions of traditional governance. In Nigeria, in Ghana, in Sierra Leone, and other places. How can we use all those in order to change people's minds? My ideas on how this is to be done are still in a state of formation. But I have no doubt in my mind that one of the things that we must do is to exorcise the ghost of corruption, the ghost of negative ethnicity, the ghost of hatred, the ghost of selfishness, the ghost of megalomania, the ghost of kleptomania, the ghost of stupidity, the ghost of ignorance, the ghost of condemnation without thought, the ghost of misusing Twitter and Instagram, the ghost of misusing Facebook, the ghost of being too opinionated, the ghost of castigating things simply because you don't like them, the ghost of wanting to be rich without work, the ghost of being judgmental without understanding. Once we have eliminated all those ghosts which are now resident in our hearts and minds, we can now embrace the spirit of Africanness, embrace the spirit of love, embrace the spirit of togetherness, embrace the spirit of political hygiene, embrace the spirit of economic prosperity, and embrace the spirit of self-esteem. And once we have this spirit resident in our minds and hearts, Africa will sit at the dinner table of human civilization as a respected diner, not as a waiter.